I am sounding the alarm! Watch out, AOC! I was just, watching a little bit of news. Ghost Cat, Catling, still doing the movie, don't get me wrong, but in the current climate of these liars and so-called Democratic Party, darling of AOC, I don't even know what's that, that's Alexandria or Cortez or something. I don't know her. I know she's good looking. And don't get me wrong, that's why the Democratic Party picked somebody like that to influence the youth. The people are there so innocent while the Democrats controlled colleges and schools, wipe away the history so that if you don't know about the Auschwitz, about the Jews that were persecuted, hunted down like animals, the so-called concentration camp, the Democrats had tried so hard to paint Donald Trump. Yeah, I'm for Donald Trump because you tried to paint him as a bad guy, comparing to the Nazis and the Hitlers because you have nothing. And don't get it wrong. The Nazis were the ones that hunt down the Jews and actually starved them. And there were the citizens of the countries that went out and hunt them down. Hunt down their own citizens. And it's not like people come into our country, invading our country legally. They're attackers. You bastards. Don't fucking come to my country and proclaim some kind of rights. Do you get that? Fucking AOC, you can fucking house them and suck their dicks. I'm sorry, I'm just losing it. I think that's saliva or whatever. I'm just like so angry because these people don't know what they're talking about. And they're lying through their teeth. And goddamn CNN, fuck you. That went along with the story and had people like, just compare concentration camp. We're paying for their goddamn housing. And you know what? Don't come. Don't fucking come to my country. Don't fucking bring your goddamn diseases. And we're gonna build that fucking wall. And we're gonna kick this AOC out of this country so she can be on the other side of the fucking wall and advocate for those invaders. God damn it. I'm so angry. I don't even know how to reason. What a reason when I say that I don't even remember how to reason. Because we ought to know Chinese people suffered under the regime of Mao, who killed 85 millions of their own people. But United States were evil. We're spending so far this year, 2019, it's only June something, 20th or something, we spent over $140 billion fucking dollars. You know how much that is? I have not seen $1 million in front of me ever in my whole life, okay? Not $140 billion, because every fucking minute, these people are like, demand on something. And how dare you to say that we'll put them in cages? Don't fucking come to my country. You're lucky we didn't fucking shoot you. I'm just saying, people break into my house, rob me in the middle of the night, the burglars, I don't give a rat's ass who they are. You're fucking gonna defend your property. This is totally different than being invited. I know some of my friends are good-hearted people, but you have never lived under the communist regime, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You never live under the fucking Nazi regime. Anyways, you don't know what you're talking about. Regime. Okay, maybe I did not pronounce it 100% correctly. So, screw you, fucking Ted Bundy or whoever it is on my Facebook page that was laughing at me. And you phony hypocrites. And said that I'm a fucking racist. And then accuse me that I couldn't spell right. Alright, you can spell so fucking right. Why don't you spell ASSHOLE on your own self? That's who you are, you're assholes. So, Mao Zedong managed to kill 85 million of its own people under the guise of communism, and that's rounding them up, okay, under the guise of communism. That's what AOC wants. is on communism, is to let everybody in and everybody else pay for them. And not only that, you suffer from their diseases and their fucking crack-ass cartels. And then they dare to point the finger at the good guy. Donald Trump is a good guy, okay? I know that sounds funny when I say good guy. I kind of like that, all right? Fuck off if you don't like it. I am so angry because the word, I am not a scholar, but the word of God actually says that. Woe to you that who calls evil good and good evil. So you're calling something that's good, that's a plus to protect us from being invaded. Don't you understand about invasion? It's people just flooding in and loot. Don't you understand it? They have to fucking loot your house, AOC. And Nancy Pelosi and these millionaires. Well, why don't you take in just 500? Let's just say 500. You're so, what do you call that? Bleeding heart, dying liberals. All right? It was not like this before. The good liberals in the past, yes, they embrace every speech, but not anymore because they cannot tolerate anything other than their own speech, which is to spread hate and to impeach Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. So I'm infuriated. I'm not a Jew. I know a lot of Jewish people. They're infuriated because the concentration camp is not just a flowery word. The left will try to scrub the history, so now the young generation doesn't even know what the hell it is, and they just go Nazi. They don't know what the hell it is. This is just it is beyond me, beyond just there. It's just dirty, low down. This has no bounds. They don't know any bounds and no shame in using false comparisons like this and comparing that we pay for these people to hold them. We don't want them here, but since they're in our back front yard, and we just go, okay, well, I guess we'll house you until that we can get you out of here, or they're gonna be released into the public, which is in your community. If that's what you want, you're paying for their first class tickets because their Delta store, you can even Google these kind of videos, stewardesses that fly airlines and said that was a hush hush, that we're paying for their first class tickets, like the so-called unaccompanied minor. All he has to say is, oh, I got a relative somewhere in Vermont. Everything is not vetted. It's just all bullshit. It's a way to infiltrate into the United States of America and to suck up our system and burden our system. So when you are the taxpayer, you pay for them. And if they get 10 of them to take over your household, this is not the same scenario as I, a stranger, was invited to somebody's Thanksgiving turkey dinner. My friend said, hey, can I invite Kat? They go, yeah, who's Kat? Or was she ever in Hamas? I mean, they didn't ask that. What I'm saying is they let me to a certain degree. So I don't just fucking show up and then bring fucking 10 cousins and, 100 of unknown relatives and claim they're my relatives, and you better let me in because I got a little passport. Somebody who's I call a minor, they could have grown a beer. There's no verification. I have never heard of that. That's lawlessness, and you're gonna go down because I am not willing to go down with you, AOC. You can get outside of the border and fucking hoard them like a fucking, I don't know, chicken. Chicken, you can hoard your chicks. So do that. I think that's a marvelous idea. Let's get AOC out of the Washington and get her outside the border. And since she loves the illegals, the invaders so much, why don't she live with them in a tent and educate them instead of me paying for it? So far, as I was saying to you, it is not a joke. You can look it up. How much money has cost us? I mean, every time when you hear a siren going out there, if you know that in California, I've seen it before. It was a fucking illegal, that person that was just like, want some medical attention, and it costs you tens of thousands of dollars. But guess what? Now California is going to punish us because they despise Donald Trump so much. When Donald Trump removed the so-called mandate is a stranglehold, is putting a gun to your head. Obama says that if you don't want to buy insurance, which we couldn't afford it, health insurance, you pay a penalty. It was around $692 if you're like a low-wage earner, or $2,500. So now, because Donald Trump stripped that and the Congress agreed, it's not legal to enforce people to buy insurance that they don't need. I'm just saying, I'm healthy. If I have to go see a dentist and pay for a fucking cleaning, $100 or $80, hey, I would rather pay that than a fucking premium now. It's skyrocketed thanks to Obamacare, fucking commie care. Nobody can afford anything. And now I'm dreading because in California, since the California Gavin Newsom, and he's a fucking propagandist, the super majority of Democrats says that, hey, they don't even give you a vote. They say you have to pay because we're gonna have to subsidize. The word subsidize meaning that if the illegals, they're here illegally, they have more rights than you because there's more number of them. They're just worried about the numbers because they think, well, they know that it's working. So God forbid this happens. God forbid, strike them down. That they're gonna force you to pay the taxes that you don't owe, that Obama has imposed upon every one of us, maybe $800-900 a year if you're healthy and you cannot afford to purchase a fucking health plan. Because my premium shot up and I even had a pretty good plan, okay? So I was paying $400 something I don't need. Anyways, I would just pay cash, okay? That's what I'm saying. So now they're not only going to put a gun to your head in California and force you to pay this mandated price according to whatever the income and give it. So it's bend over. Here comes a fuck you in the ass again. Bend over and give it to people who should not even be here. You understand? Do you understand? If you have a home and someone that break into your house, that's not like the goodness of your heart, invite them in for dinner, and then even your dinner guests or some guests that sometimes they just don't leave. You see, all right, that's not an issue if they don't leave, and then they force like 10 more people. They decide that they have more power than you, and then fucking enslave you. So not only you have to provide for their food and lodging, now you have to provide for their medical bills. This is what it is. I mean, it's what it is. So shut the fuck up. I mean, just look at California. It's fucking run down to the fucking shithole. As you can see, it's a symptom. Don't throw any more of our money into the symptom because of the cancerous Democrats that rule this California have brought it down to the shithole, and we gotta get them out. And that's that, all right? If you don't get them out, then, hey, pay for the illegals and have them eat and lodge and shit in your yard because they, better not discriminate. You see what I'm saying? It's all discrimination now if you say anything. So let them come in, let all the China, 40 billion people to come live off us. That's what you want. So, bug off. Shut up. Shut up, AOC. Deport her.